Hello everybody, it's a beautiful day. It's the first decent day we've had for several days. It's been cold and rainy and gloomy. I'm feeling quite tired today. I've had a really busy week last week. In fact, I was very busy for 7 days and I'm feeling rather tired now. However, I'm otherwise fit and healthy and about to show you a new recipe. With Christmas approaching, I am going to make some Christmas mincemeat, and you can use Christmas mincemeat for mince pies, ecclefechan tarts and a whole manner of things. In fact, I'm going to be showing you how to make some donuts filled with Christmas mincemeat. I don't know if anybody else has done anything like this, but I thought I would give it a go anyway, so that's in an upcoming video. Yesterday I made the Christmas cake, beautiful Christmas cake, so that's all wrapped up now in its tin, ready for its first feed of brandy, which Dan is going to do this evening. He enjoys feeding cakes. But for now, let's focus on the job in hand, which is Christmas mincemeat. The first thing I'm going to do is sterilise some jars and lids. I reuse my jars whenever possible until the lids get manky. That's a nice clean one. Look, this is a bon moment jar. I'm going to sterilise the lids by putting them in a container on a heat-proof surface and filling them with boiling water. I'll leave them for about 5 minutes. And the jars I immerse in warm soapy water, give them a good wash and rinse, and then they and the lids go in an oven at 125 Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes. This is a peanut butter jar. Again, squeaky clean. And then I went into Hobbycraft yesterday and bought some more jars because I've run out. I've used all the jars. I've been kept very busy this autumn, pickling and preserving with our harvest and whatever has been available cheaply in the shops to make into tasty things. So these all have gold lids. So even if they've not been used before, they need washing thoroughly in warm soapy water, rinsing and then drying off in the oven at 125 Celsius with the other jars. This recipe is enough for 3 to 4 jars. If there's any left over, I will be keeping that aside for my donut recipe. So let's get down to it. While the jars are sterilising, I am going to make up the mincemeat mixture. I have here a 1 kilo bag of mixed fruit, but you can use any combination that you like. I need 750 grams or thereabouts of mixed fruit. I've also got a few sultanas left, so I'm going to add those to the mix. I'm going to put those in a pan, and then I'm going to peel and chop a brandy apple, and that goes in there too. This is a medium-sized brandy. You can, if you like, add maybe about 50 grams of nuts, chopped almonds or hazelnuts or walnuts, whatever you like. But I've decided not to put nuts in this one because I'll probably be selling 2 or 3 of the jars for charity, and not everyone can eat nuts. If you want to add nuts, you can do it with whatever you keep before you fill your pastry cases or other patisserie with it. Certainly with apple flecking tarts, you usually have mincemeat, just plain mincemeat with no nuts in, but then you put a few flaked almonds on top, along with some orange zest and a little orange juice mixed in, or you can use orange extract. I'm just going to chop the apple up. Put all my clippings in the composter. It goes on the garden. We've always got plenty of compost. If we do run low, we just get some more from the garden centre. But usually we've got enough of our own, at least to mix into whatever we buy from the garden centre. And your own compost really does improve the health of your soil, and you know that there's no additives or anything else that's gone into it. So that should be small enough. I'm going to put that chopped apple on a plate and carry on peeling and chopping. And that now goes in with the rest of the mixture. Then we're going to measure out 125 grams of butter diced into cubes. Keep the butter papers, they come in useful for greasing tins if you're doing any baking. And then that also gets added to the pot. Then I need 225 grams of light brown soft sugar. And then that also gets added to the pan. Then I'm going to do some grated orange zest, and I'm going to add the juice of this lemon. The lemon first. This lemon needs using up. I used the zest in another recipe, so I decided to adapt this one and use orange zest instead of lemon zest. I really like that mixture of oranges and lemons. You can of course use a juicer. I had those little retro ones, but I don't know where I've put it. Don't waste the inside of the orange, I'm going to eat it. This is a sweet little satsuma, gorgeous. I'd like to be able to get a bit more zest off this lemon. Lastly, we want about half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a teaspoon of mixed spice. Mix everything together well with a big old metal spoon, or you can use a wooden spoon if you prefer, and that's going on the heat for about 10 minutes now until the butter has melted. Now the mincemeat is cool, so I'm going to add the alcohol. Now some recipes use 200 ml of brandy. That's quite a lot of brandy. I've decided to just change things up a bit and use half brandy and half sherry. Some people prefer to use sherry in mincemeat, they prefer the flavour. So I've decided to blend the two. I've added 100 millilitres of Napoleon brandy and 100 millilitres of dry sherry. I put it in this mixing cup and I poured it into the pan here. And I'm giving it a good stir. Don't worry if there's some liquid at the bottom, that will help to preserve the mincemeat. The mincemeat is good for at least 6 months. Recipes usually say use within 6 months, but I've opened mincemeat after a year and it's been perfectly fine because I've added enough alcohol to preserve it. It will even last up to 2 years. Mincemeat is also really useful in place of mixed dried fruit. If you've run out, you can just open a jar of mincemeat and use it in your fruitcake recipe, and it'll have an extra kick to it as well. I like Dundee cake and I like to use mincemeat if I've got any, and then I put the almonds on top of the cake batter before it goes in the oven. It's nice with cheese. Being a northerner, I always like to have a slice of cheese, sharp cheddar or similar, with a piece of fruit cake. I'm also partial to a cheese and marmalade sandwich, which was my Scottish granny's favourite. So it's time to pop up this beautiful stuff. I use a funnel. This is a jam funnel. You can also use it for potting up chutney. It sits on top of the jar like that. And I'm going to fill up the jar with the lovely mincemeat. Christmas mincemeat is so versatile. Right, I'm going to pack it down with a teaspoon. I can just add a little bit more, I think. That's perfect. You see, you want it right up to the bottom of the rim. And then we continue in a similar fashion. And this one isn't a full one, so that is going in the fridge, and I'm going to be using that for another recipe. To seal the jars, I have these wax circles. You want to put the wax side down, that's the shiny side down, on top of the mincemeat, and then screw the lid on tight. It's always a good idea to label your jars. So for example, I have a sheet of stickers here. I've put Xmas mincemeat. And I'll put the date and then stick it on the jar. You want a sturdy elastic band, and you secure the fabric top over the lid like that. You can finish it off with a gift tag as well if you like, and then you've got a nice gift for a friend or loved one that hasn't cost a huge amount of money, and it's something that they will enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Please check out my YouTube catalogue for other videos, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.